Hi, I'm Niall Horan, and this is a Wired autocomplete interview. Are these actually the first questions that come up? Is Niall Horan a tenor? Yeah. I don't think I'm out of puberty yet, so I've got quite the range. Is Niall Horan colourblind? Niall Horan is colourblind. Not many people know this one. Struggle sometimes with shades of green and yellow that are close to each other. I've been caught out on it a few times where people have gone, are you colourblind? Like, yeah. Didn't know I was. Won't be able to fly a plane, apparently. Is Niall Horan left-handed? Niall Horan is left-handed. Niall Horan writes with his left hand, but I play golf right-handed. I play guitar right-handed. I'm left-footed as well. When I play soccer. Is Niall Horan related to Helen? We've been getting this for years. Myself and Mr. Generous. We're not related, and I wish. Is Niall Horan a country singer? I'm not a country singer, but I have one country-sounding song that my friend Mara Morris sings on me called Seeing Blind. Is Niall Horan in Smallfoot? What are you trying to say? Well, I'm not, but I did write a song that was the soundtrack to the movie Smallfoot. Last one and this one. Is Niall Horan a natural brunette? Niall Horan is a natural brunette. I started dyeing my hair blonde highlights. I was about 12 or 13. I realised that when you get to a certain age, you probably shouldn't have highlights anyway, because that makes you look like you're clinging on to your youth. On to the next one. Dankeschön. Right. How to meet Niall Horan? Is that a question? Passing on the street? In a pub? Although you won't see me in a pub for October, as I've taken the month of October off alcohol. Gigs, meet and greets, all the great places. Was Niall Horan part of One Direction? Niall Horan was part of One Direction. Didn't look a little bit, he looked a bit more blonde, a bit smaller. What colour are Niall Horan's eyes? I think they're like blue with tinges of yellow and green. Where is Niall Horan from? Niall Horan is from Mullingar, small little town about an hour west of Dublin in Ireland. Where does Niall Horan live? Google Maps. Generally London and Los Angeles. When was Niall Horan born time? I actually didn't know this until, weirdly, one day I was sitting on Twitter and it was my birthday and I was looking at tweets and basically someone had my birth cert, kind of. It was like, Niall Horan was born at 8:35 on a Monday morning, September the 13th. I was like, what? And then I asked my mum and they were right. When is Niall Horan releasing new music? Niall Horan has a brand new single out right now. It's called Nice to Meet You, because it is nice to meet you. Got an album next year as well for those listening. On to the next one. What is Niall Horan's blood type? No idea. What is Niall Horan's nickname? One of my mates calls me Lodge for a reason I can't tell you. Nialler, just kind of my name with ER on the end of it, is what a lot of people have called me, really. I've kind of always been sad I never really had a strong nickname. I would like that. Could have been my stage name. What does Niall Horan smell like? Right now it's chicken because I've just eaten. I've heard a lot of people say that I smell great. Louis Capaldi said recently my hair smells good because he spends a lot of time smelling my head when I see him, which is really strange. What is Niall Horan's slow hand song about? Quite sexy stuff. Getting it on. That's pretty much it. What was Niall Horan's imaginary friend called? I don't think I had one. How is Niall Horan right now? Niall Horan's great. Niall Horan is doing an interview. He's having a great time answering some questions in New York for the first time in a while. Got a new song out. Raring to go. Thanks for asking. Appreciate it. How to get Niall Horan to notice you on Twitter. Ask a question like the above. An everyday question. I'm a normal guy with an abnormal job. How did Niall Horan become famous? Niall Horan auditioned for a TV show called The X Factor in the UK, failed, and then got put into a band with 4 others that failed. Then we ended up in a band called One Direction. How to draw Niall Horan step by step. There's enough talented people out there to know how to draw, and I'm just going to leave you to do that yourselves. How many siblings does Niall Horan have? 1. Older brother, 32. Greg is his name. Next one. What is Niall Horan's favourite animal? I like lions. I did a safari a few years ago, and watching a lion walking around in the wild and doing its job is really impressive. What does Niall Horan order at Nando's? How long have we got? I could be here a while. I do a double-breasted chicken wrap, medium, with some halloumi cheese in it. Peri-peri fries with Peronaise. What is Niall Horan's middle name? Niall James Horan, derived from my granddad's name, which was Seamus. What hospital was Niall Horan born in? Niall Horan was born in the Mullingar General Hospital in my hometown of Mullingar. What is Niall Horan's favourite drink? I absolutely love Guinness. Yes, we are Irish and we live up to every single stereotype. Guinness is my favourite. Sweet nectar. I don't even want to talk about it. It gets me emotional. What guitar does Niall Horan play? I just got myself a new Fender Telecaster from 1964, and it looks kind of Springsteen-esque. Who is Niall Horan's best friend? His name is Sean Mulholland, otherwise known as Mully. Went to school together since we were kids. He now moved to LA and lives with me for his own job. He's not following me around the world like some hanger-on. Who does Niall Horan support? I support a team called Derby County. It's painful, and I'll start to tear up after a while. We haven't been in the Premier League in years, and it's getting a little bit sad. Otherwise, I support Chelsea. Who does Niall Horan look like? When I was younger, people used to say I look like the kid from Stuart Little with the glasses. Stuart! Now I get Alan Leach, who is an Irish guy, and he's in Downton Abbey. I have to say, we do actually really look like each other. He's another handsome Irishman. You note the use of another. Who did Niall Horan write this town about? Based on my hometown / young love from that town. First, girlfriend, or what I thought was a girlfriend. And every time I pass that girl in the pub and she's moved on with her life, makes you reflect and be nostalgic. So that's what that was about. Here we go. Another one, in the great words of DJ Khaled. Does Niall Horan speak Spanish? Niall Horan does not speak Spanish. Does Niall Horan like Harry Potter? I'm not going to lie, I wasn't for a long time. And then Warner Brothers opened up the set to the public in London. And I lived nearby, and I went to the set. After I seen the set, I went home and watched all the movies back to back. What house would I be in? Gryffindor all day long. I'd say me and Ron would have went for a few beers together. We would have sneaked out over the wall of the school. I'd say me and Ron would have been good friends in Gryffindor. Does Niall Horan wear contacts? No, I don't wear contacts. I kind of used to do this thing for style where I used to wear cleared lens glasses. And then that obviously caught up on me because I was wondering why I couldn't really see the score of a football match on a TV or see you where the camera is. But then I went and got an eye test, and apparently I've got one eye weaker than the other, and I wear them for driving and watching TV, like a 50-year-old man. Does Niall Horan have asthma? I did when I was a kid, just a little bit, nothing too crazy, I don't know. Does Niall Horan have a tattoo? Niall Horan has 0 tattoos. I'm not craving it. There's other things I would like to do with my money and my time. On to the final board. Here we go. Is Niall Horan going on tour? Niall Horan will be going on tour. I've noticed that for the last 20 minutes I've been speaking in the third person, like he's not here. Yeah, I am going on tour. Back to me. More about him, more about me. Is Niall Horan a soccer player? Part-time. We call it football, America, like the rest of the world. Follow us, please. Don't be that ignorant. You're the only ones that say soccer, okay? Get with it. Did Niall Horan have braces? I had braces for 2 years and took them off, and you're meant to wear the retainer for a while, and I didn't. So these are gone, and my bottom half are gone, a little bit funky. So I've recently just got Invisalign to help me. But yes, I did have braces, and they looked horrendous. Where did Niall Horan record Flicker? I recorded Flicker at a studio in LA, and it was an unbelievable experience. Full live band in a famous studio. Watching my songs come to life was pretty cool. We had to replicate the sadness when it came to recording, so we were very delicate and gentle, and there was lovely strings, and Shania Twain was there. Yes, I love that woman. Will Niall Horan fall for you? Can we have a conversation first, maybe? I'll probably fall really easily anyway. So yeah, this is the answer to that. I've learned today that people really do like to dig in and learn stuff about you. It's the simple stuff, the everyday stuff that you would ask, do you wear contacts? That's what they have to Google to find that stuff out about me. We're very nosy.